Hey guys, thanks for watching another Niddleman 360 degree movie review. Just remember, you can either click and swipe to look around, or you can actually use your phone to look all around. Now, I just saw the movie Captain America Civil War, and holy crap, was it awesome. Okay, I'm gonna go meld on it in my car ride for a few minutes, and then talk about this review. Hey guys, so I finally had some time to mull over Captain America Civil War. These are going to be my thoughts on it. Just another reminder, because these videos are kind of a new kind of thing. Remember that you can either use your phone to kind of look around because it's 360 degrees, or you can use your finger to tap and swipe, or if you're on a computer, you can use it to click and swipe. If it's not doing that, you're probably just using some sort of platform it doesn't work on. Otherwise, it should kind of automatically work. Now, the way I'm going to be doing this, if you follow me, over here, I'm going to be putting the Rotten Tomatoes scores over on this side over here. The other side, I'm going to just be putting some movie posters and stuff. Okay? Now, back here, I would love some suggestions for you guys when my wife's doing reviews with me. I'll probably have her back here or somebody else I saw the movie with to give their perspective. But for now, I really don't know what to put back here. I'll figure out something so when you're watching the review, you'll see something there. Now, one idea I had is that I plan on putting a secret picture somewhere in this video. You're going to have to look around and find it. And it'll only appear for a few seconds in my videos. And after about 3 videos, if you can comment on that third video and tell me what all the pictures are, I plan on sending out maybe like a $10 movie theater card to whoever it is that wins, or something like that. Do you guys like that idea? Let me know in the comments, or if you'd like another kind of prize. Nothing too expensive though. If I don't get much response on that, I'm probably not going to do that. Anyways, so this movie, okay, let's talk about this. Captain America Civil War, man, it blew my mind. Oh, and this is a spoiler-free review. I'll be putting up my spoilers review a little bit later, okay? So I'm not going to do any spoilers here or anything too crazy like that. So the plot to this movie, if you, for some reason, don't know, like, why are superheroes fighting each other and stuff like that? Basically, this movie does what Batman vs. Superman did incorrectly, and it shows you how good guys on the same team can end up really having tension because they have different ideological differences. You know, basically, you go into this movie kind of thinking you're either Team Iron Man or Team Captain America. You've kind of seen the marketing with that. For me, I thought I was going into this movie as Team Iron Man based on what I had seen and my own thought processes, but I ended up leaving I ended up leaving Captain America on his side. Now, honestly, they do this movie so well in a way where they show you both perspectives of these characters, in which I could totally understand if you end up on Iron Man's team or Captain America's team or somewhere in between. You know, it totally makes sense. So again, more specifically with the plot, basically this movie is it's the culmination of all the other 20 million movies they've done in the Marvel cinematic universe. There's been a lot of bad guys, there's been a lot of destruction, and they do a good job at showing you how a lot of it's because of them. You know, we like to root for the Hulk running along buildings and fighting people and stuff like that, but they show you in this movie when William Hurt comes in, he plays the Secretary of State from this movie, kind of shows you here's what happened here. You guys thought you were really helping, but look at the kind of damage you caused. Look at the damage you caused over here. You know, it shows a perspective from somebody's camera, and they're watching the Hulk. The Hulk jumps on a building and the stuff just smashes on him. You kind of assume whoever was filming that died, and you're like, damn, I didn't really think about that, you know? So that was kind of all of a sudden you're thinking, damn, they really are kind of causing some havoc. They talk about how many families have died, and anyways, you get the idea. So what do you do about that? Well, Iron Man is basically saying, look, we need to work for the United Nations. We need to have some sort of leadership. Otherwise, we're just vigilantes, and with no rules or boundaries, we're just like the bad guys, right? Whereas Captain America, this is almost like a sequel, like the third Captain America movie, so it's kind of like the end of a trilogy for his storyline. And basically, he's had that experience of working for the government, whether it's for the army or for Shield, etc. And he's kind of seen how it doesn't always go the right way. You know, he was working for Shield in the last movie, which turned out to be Hydra. So really, he was working for the bad guys and the bad guys' bidding to a certain extent, and he knows how politics can be manipulated, and it's due to people's agendas. And what if they want to send you somewhere you don't want to go, or what if there's somewhere you want to go? Someone's holding some school hostage, and you know you want to go help them, but because of politics, they can't get involved, and so now they can't help these people they want to help, and so you're really restrictive, and you're not. It's not. You lose all your choice in how you help people. But again, it goes back and forth, and they show lots of arguments throughout this movie about how you can. It's a very tough decision. It's not black and white. You know, that's what they do so well in this movie. I'm not going to go any more into the plot of that. I'll save the rest of the plot for the spoiler review. So some more pros. Okay, right here I'll probably put some pros. Actually, no, I'm not going to type that up. I'll just say it, whatever. Takes a long time to edit that crap. Anyways, the biggest pro, I would say, is the writing. This movie, my God, I don't know how many times I've reviewed a movie and said, you know, it's entertaining, but there's just no depth to it. This movie has depth. Motherfucking depth. I'm talking, they have so many characters in this movie, and all of their storylines are interwoven like a freaking web, pun intended, and it just flows so smoothly, and you're able to follow it, and nobody feels out of place. They introduce 2 new characters in this movie, right? Black Panther, who I knew nothing about, and Spider-Man, kind of a rebooted Spider-Man, which I was kind of iffy about. I wasn't a big fan of the way his costume looked in the first trailer I saw him in, but my God, they already have a bunch of characters. They're introducing 2 new characters, and they do it all amazing. I mean, it's freaking crazy. Like, they don't need to go in depth with the origin of Spider-Man. We all have seen that story a million times, and the writers knew that. They knew it would just be beating us over the head if they were like, oh, he got bit by a spider and blah, blah, blah. No, they kind of take off after that. And the way he's in it is just very good. As far as Spider-Man goes, I will tell you that I haven't seen enough of Tom Holland, who plays Spider-Man, enough to know if I like him better than the other Spider-Mans. I know his costume, to be perfectly honest, I'm not a huge fan of, but I don't hate it either. I liked the other Spider-Man costumes from the other movies. This one's too like bland for me. But if you like it, hey, I get it. There's nothing bad about it. Now, as far as the action with Spider-Man goes, I will say that he's awesome, man. But again, it's all CGI. So as far as the Peter Parker version played by Tom Holland, I don't know yet because he was in it very little amount. So far, Tobey Maguire is still my Spider-Man. You know, he's the one I first saw Spider-Man when I was like in high school or something, and he's the one I view as Spider-Man still. Andrew Garfield, say what you want. I thought he was cool too. This guy, to be honest, there's just not enough of him to know. Anyways, moving on from that, Black Panther, origin story for him. Well, it's not really an origin story. You don't like go there and see how he became Black Panther, but they explain it in enough ways that you're like, okay, I get it. I get his character. I get his motivation, and he's a fucking badass, man. Oh, God. Oh, check out my spoiler review after you see this movie. Anyways, so the writing. Again, sorry if this is droning on too long. I'm not editing this because I just want to get this all out here. But anyway, so the writing, man, they could have fucked this movie up so bad. There's so many storylines. You know, you got Captain America storyline, you got the Winter Soldier storyline, you got Iron Man's storyline, you got all the other characters in there. You got a bad guy who, okay, getting into the negatives, I guess, a little bit. The bad guy, a lot of people are going to not like him, and I get that. For me personally, though, he's in the movie such a small amount, and he plays kind of a vital role in the third act of what causes some stuff to happen that I didn't mind him. You know, he wasn't like the best villain ever. He's not super threatening or anything, but he just he played his role the way they needed him to. I'll say that. There's some action in this movie. Is back to the pros. The action in this movie is freaking epic. Oh my God. The opening scene is a freaking amazing action sequence. Throughout the movie, there's so many action sequences, and to be honest, you almost forget about them because there's another action scene that you've seen in the trailer where they're all running towards each other. I'm not going to spoil what happens in that, but man, it is a long sequence and it's phenomenal. Phenomenal. And everybody that they have in there is utilized. They all have their moments where they do something epic in the fight. Nobody's just kind of like not doing anything. They all do something cool. So action, writing, the acting. Man, Robert Downey Jr. and Iron Man and Bucky Barnes, all these guys, they got all these dramatic scenes. This is a dramatic, intense movie that pulls at your heartstrings at times. There are times where you're just like, oh my God, and there are some real stakes in this movie. They're not just scrimmaging with each other like, oh, I'm mad at you. No, there are some vendettas in this movie. There are some of them are trying to kill somebody, There's some intense stuff. There's vengeance for sure. There's all have realistic, logical reasons for why they're fighting. And, it's just crazy that this movie got made. You would just think that a movie like this would never happen. And it just goes to show that Batman vs. Superman fucked it up because they didn't have, I would say Superman didn't have the best reasons to fight in that movie. Anyways, this is the Captain America movie, right? So what else? What score am I going to give this movie? I'm going to put the score right here. I give this movie marriage material. Because, my God, I want to marry this movie. Seriously. Especially Scarlett Witch. She's so sexy. Oh my God, Elizabeth Olsen's so hot. Anyways. Sorry, I just think about Elizabeth Olsen and I'm like, ooh. Oh my gosh. Anyways, what else is there to say? Again, that's really all I can't say too much more without spoiling stuff. So, hopefully you liked this review. Did you go in as Team Iron Man or Team Captain America? And when you came out, did you stay the same? Did you flip-flop? Or are you somewhere in between? Comment below and tell me, okay? We'll talk about that. Remember to check out my spoiler-filled review, which will come a little bit after this. Again, let me know if you guys like these 360 videos. Let me know if you like the idea of spotting a random picture or something and win some prizes. I'd like to do that for you guys. I think that'd be kind of cool. Any suggestions for what to do with this 360 video? I'm all open to suggestions and ideas. Other than that, stick around to watch some more of my movie reviews if you can handle it. Go.